Come on in, welcome to my home. This is not the original video beginning. Nope, this intro is different because I realized halfway through this video I can't even show you part of what I needed through this video. But let me get back to what this is. This is our home economics video, which we're going to talk about my home book. I have a book which is literally just for the things in my home. This also involves the home inventory stuff, but it also involves paint colors and those sort of things. And as I was trying to do all this, as I was flipping through the pages that I was going to show you, I realized I couldn't show you because a lot of this involves information that I need, not information that you need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I am turning this digital. And so we are going to go on this process together versus me trying to blank out or hide the picture, hide the names or things which you don't really need to see but that I need. So what we're going to do is first I'm going to show you parts of my home book, which, like I said, I can't show you too much of it because all the information in your home book is your information. But the bigger thing is we're going to, oh wait, hang on, let me show you. So right here is my book. This is my book that is my home book. And inside of it, I will show you what little I can, but mostly what's in here are the instructions or the manuals for the appliances or things that I have in my home. But we're going to do something different. Alright, now that you've seen a little tiny bit of my home book, let me jump onto the computer and I will show you how I'm going to create the new home book, which is digital. And yes, I've already started this before, but we're going to start it off fresh and new and show you how I did it, why I did it, and all those fun sort of things. I'm going to do this in the most simplistic version possible. This is going to use something which everybody has, which is just a word processing program. It can be any word processing program. How you go from there is up to you. I will probably stick within the Google ecosphere, I call it, so that all of my things then interact with each other, and I can go from there, and I'll talk a little bit about that when we get over there. But you can do this whatever works best for you, but your home book is the place where you collect all the information that you need for your home. Emergency contact numbers, the paint colors. Yeah, that's really important when you do things. It's also a great place to have room sizes, carpet sizes, who your person is who repairs your water heater, the instruction manual for your water heater, and one of the coolest things that you're going to find out, well, wait a sec, let me get over there. Alright, once you get over to your word processing document, the first thing that I want you to do is we're going to try to figure out what you want to put into your home book. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to be repeating things over and over again. So the first thing that I always try to make is a template. If I can spell it. There we go. This is my template file. And what I'm going to do is, because I am using the Google Docs, I'm going to turn this into a heading, which then makes this a wonderful little thing that I can do as an outline. So I can have an outline of everything which I am doing on the side, and it makes life so much easier. And then I can add into my, from the template, I know that I'm going to need my contact information. So I know that I can just go over to my go down to my contact information template, and then I have a whole list of stuff that I like to use for contact information. So from there, I will just jump down to the next line, paste all that in. Great, wonderful, terrific. However, you're saying, well, that's sort of weird. Well, yeah, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into a heading 2. And then all of this stuff I'm going to have as normal text. And you can then play around with it. I could have indented all of this. But so this way, when I go to do this stuff, I can find all of that contact information. So let's say for the next one, I want to do the assets. And sometimes I'll capitalize this, sometimes I won't. I will make this into its own heading 2. Heading 2. There we go. And now I can then put in all the stuff that I would possibly need for my assets. And these are things that I can then choose to use whenever I need to. And I mean, this just does make life so much easier. But let's say that I've decided that, I don't like the way that this is spaced out, that sort of stuff. I can change it. I can change it so that it just looks better, it feels better. I can make it however I want it. I can indent it. It's just a nicer thing to be able to do, so I can then quickly copy all that information over. There are going to be other things that I want to have on there. So what should I possibly want to have on there? Well, I do have a list of stuff that I know that I'm going to need on there. Those are all the items that I think I'm going to need on my home book. So I'm just going to turn those into headings. And now you're suddenly thinking, wait, I now get this, I hope. So then we will put this, I'm going to put that there. There are my templates down at the bottom. And then up at the top here, I'm going to put in contacts. Make this a heading. Excellent. Now from there, I can then just scroll down to all of my wonderful thing here, the contact information. Copy that. And under contacts, I'm going to indent this over. Paste that in. Now I can then do the fun things of, like, say, my person's name is person 2. You're like, well, that's not really helpful because I'd have to search for that. I would just highlight this and make person 2 into a second heading. Now I can fill all that information. I can do person 2, put whatever jobs they have, their email, birthdays, all that information, and I can change that. And then if I wanted to add another person, I can add another person in the same way. Get all that information, make it a subheading. And so I can see instantly underneath all of this where these things are. And that makes it really quick to search for it, to find it, that sort of thing. It makes life so much easier. But let's talk about home inventory. So I could jump to the home inventory spot. And I know that in my home inventory, I'm going to add an asset. My asset is going to be my KitchenAid mixer. Well, what I will do with that, I will copy my asset template, go up here, paste it in, make that sure that goes over. Then I will put in my name of my item. It's the kitchen, which I can't spell, KitchenAid mixer. Alright, KitchenAid mixer is in. I put it as a heading 2. I can put in all of the wonderful names and all this fun stuff, but I can also do something else, which is really nice. I can put in the model number. So now if I'm ever looking for that, I can have the model number, I can put in the serial number, if I want it to have a photo in there, I can put all of that stuff in there, and I can find this. But there's something even better. So let's say that I have found my KitchenAid mixer, wonderful, fantastic, but what about the manual for it? Well, okay, I'm going to download the production the manual. Oh, that's really cool. That's really wonderful. But what if I could do something even better? Copy this, and then I can put the address for the PDF right there. I can now find that information right there with all of the information for my KitchenAid manual. And I'm going to replace this with the title, yes. So it's right there. I can literally just go to it. Is that the most wonderful thing ever? You can do that with so many different things. Calendars, all that fun stuff. Your book, suddenly your home book becomes much better. The hard part, of course, is just getting this set up. That can take some time, but it won't be as bad as you think it is because you can do it whenever. The cool part about having it digital, and since mine is on my docs, I can actually use it on my phone. So I can add things to my document as I use my phone, if I'm on my tablet, whatever I have around with me at that time, I can do that. And I really like that part about it because it doesn't leave me trapped to something. Also, you can print it out. So those of you who are going, but I don't want to have just a digital copy of it, well, yeah, you can print it. Or you can print out specific pages. You could then put those specific pages into a notebook. That's what makes this so dynamic. And then once you get all the information, don't forget you can pretty it up and make it look more to your liking. Once you have your initial template done, or your initial thing done, you can then slowly go back and change things, add things in there. If you want to put in a person's picture or anything like that, you absolutely can, just by cutting and pasting. You can make new pages, you can take information out, you can add information in. The cool part about doing a digital notebook like this is the fact that it is yours. It is yours to change and to keep and to have any way that you want it. And if you forget something or something moves, like you're no longer keeping your KitchenAid mixer in the kitchen, or you don't need information, like I don't need to know the quantity of this because I only have one. I only will have one as far as I know. I can tell you when it was serviced and repaired. All of these things just make life so much easier and faster and better. So that's the start of creating a digital home book. I'm not going to go into the whole what everything I think you need into it right in this session because you need to start it. That's the whole big thing. If you don't start it, you'll never get this done. And it did take some time to get it done, but the fun part about this is just go through it. Work a little bit on it each day, maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes a day, and your book will start growing. Your information will start growing. You'll find out how to use this in different ways. Maybe you don't want to even use a document. Maybe you want to use this in some other form. There is OneNote would work great for this. Google Keep would also work well for it. Whatever works best for you, and set it up just so that you get all that information, so that in one spot you have the information that you then can actually run your house. Once you start feeling more comfortable with it, then you can start making it look prettier. Then you can start putting in the embellishments and all those wonderful things, and you can start sharing it, like pieces of it, with your family, so that they have the information that they need when they need it. Well, let me know down in the comments if you have a notebook, if this has gotten you to think about setting up a notebook, or how you would do it differently, because I'd love to hear about that. We will come back to this again, because like I said, this is just the beginning. We need to set this up so that it's an ongoing thing, just much like your house in the scientific method. You research, you analyze, you research, you repeat. See what worked, what didn't work, what do you need to change, what do you need to do a little bit better, and then we'll come back to it and go from there. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope I get to see you again the next time you stop by.